I swear I'm rocking with that ending song harder and harder every week, but what is up, guys? It is your favorite Osaka Lotus here today, and welcome back to the Nerd Corner. And in today's video, I'm here to give you my review, my thoughts on episode 5 of Boku no Hero Academia, aka My Hero Academia. And I gotta say, I'm having a lot more fun with this series than I thought that I was going to, because even though I was looking forward to it, you guys know how it is when things get hyped up. Sometimes it just kind of kills it for you and you just don't like it as much. But I gotta say, like, the initial hype for this has like died down and people are enjoying it, but I don't really see too many people going around calling this like the greatest thing ever, the savior of anime, or any of that, you know, that extra BS. So I gotta say, I'm having a great time, and it hasn't been spoiled by anyone. So with that said, this was another fantastic episode. It wasn't amazing or anything like that, but it was another really good one, another good adaptation for the manga, and a great follow-up for the previous episode. I don't know if I like it more than episode 2 or episode 4, but I like it more than 1 and 3, so this is somewhere in the top 3, but definitely not my number 1, but it was a very strong episode. We see All Might Izuku on the beach in the beginning having a little exchange of words in regards to his quirk and him passing the exam, and we got a real nice little heartfelt scene between Izuku and his mom before he left home for his first day of school, and she was like, "Izuku," and he's like, "Huh?" And she's like, "You know, you're really cool," and I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And it was just a really, not only was it like a beautiful moment, but it was both, you know, beautiful emotionally as well as visually, because that scene was actually very well drawn and very well animated and just looked really, really nice. And then, of course, once Izuku gets to school, this is where, you know, we get some great comedy. He runs into Ida and Bakugo in class because they're obviously his classmates in 1A at UA High School, and he has a flashback of like Bakugo like getting mad at him and you know, threatening him, and he's just like, you know what, someone told me that I can be a hero, so I'm gonna be a hero. And I don't think we're gonna get a single episode without Izuku crying at some point, at least not in this first season, because it seems we can't go a single episode without some tears flowing from those eyes. I swear he has like a never-ending well of just constant flowing waters that just never die between his tear ducts. But but in this episode, we start off with the what was it, the field test? I think it's called the field test, where we get to see you know, all the students, at least in class 1A, participating in 8 different exams, so to speak, where they're allowed to use their quirks, basically to test like their physical fitness with their quirk in a way. So to start us off, we see Katsuki or Bakugo give us an example, as directed by, you know, Aizawa-Sensei, to basically throw the ball as far as he can, and he can use his quirk in whatever way he wants to, as long as he stays inside of the designated area. And so he uses, you know, his explosion quirk to basically throw the ball over 700 meters. I believe the range was calculated to be 750 meters. He threw the ball, and so we see you know, several different characters, you know, use their quirks for different, you know, parts of the test, whether it be to see how fast they can clear a 50-meter dash, how far they can throw the ball, how hard they can squeeze something. And we just get to see, you know, a little bit of something from several different characters. I was actually pretty surprised when we because we were getting, you know, those screenshots where it gives us, you know, like the character name, says their quirk, and it's like a, you know, a colorful comic book looking image. And we got one for like Ida, we got one for Ochako, we even got one for Aoyama, or Aoyama, however you pronounce his name, who was a hilarious character, by the way. Like, I know some people don't like him, some of the manga readers, but I think he's hysterical. Like, I think he's funny in the manga, and he was the highlight of the comedy for me in this episode, was just that like belly button laser quirk he has. He's just so flamboyant and ridiculous, and I get a good kick out of that. But yeah, we even got one of those scenes for Bakugo, even though we had one for him, I think, in like the very first episode. Now, I don't remember if like his quirk was explained in that first episode, but I mean, we pretty much already know who he is and how his quirk works for the most part. So where I was going with this is that they showed us Tsuyu, and I know we didn't get to see like the extent of her quirk, but like she was like in the middle of like all these, you know, like images, these screenshots are being shown for like these characters, and then they just give her like a regular old scenes like Tsuyu Asui 5.58 seconds, that's how fast she can do the 50-meter dash. And I'm like, oh man, that's kind of whack, because I think Tsuyu's a really cool character. She's actually one of my favorites, and I think she's one of the most useful characters in the manga from what I've read, one of the most useful female characters, at least. Not to throw any shade at Ochako, because she's actually a pretty nice character as well. She's actually proved that she can be useful and that she is strong in many aspects and is respectable. But hopefully we'll get one of those for Tsuyu. I mean, it's not really a big deal. I just was like, oh man, how come she doesn't get one? But yeah, we see Izuku, you know, struggling, of course, because he doesn't know how to control his quirk, and he's scared to even use it because he's afraid if he uses it for any one of these exams that he will basically destroy his whole body. But if he places last in all of them, then he's at risk of being expelled from the school, or at least that's what Aizawa-Sensei threatened to do. Whether or not he would have actually done it, not sure. I don't really think he would have, to be honest, but you know, he might have, who knows. By the way, Aizawa-Sensei, love him, love his character. He's a straight savage, because when Izuku finally mustered up the, you know, the strength to throw the ball, and he activated his quirk the first time he was about to do it, and he, you know, started sending the energy of one for all through his arm, was getting ready to throw it, and Aizawa just activated his quirk and went full on eraser head mode, and just was like you have zero potential, you don't know how to control your quirk, I erased it, blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, Aizawa is a savage. Eraser head is a dope hero, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him, because I'm not up to date with the manga, but I have heard that he does have several moments to shine, and he does get involved in several different you know, combat scenes and instances and events that happen later down the line. And I know we're not going to see that animated for a while, if we ever see it animated at all, but I'm sure we will. So both in anime and manga format, I'm looking forward to that, because Eraserhead Aizawa-Sensei is a dope character. But yeah, man, I love it when Izuku activates his quirk, because just the way that they animate and portray, you know, the energy flowing through whichever part of the body that he's sending it to, and just the way they show, you know, it coursing through his body and him activating it, I just think it looks so cool. And they always have such great music for those scenes, and the animation art is definitely on point, as it always is for this series, because you guys already know who's doing it and who's in charge, so needless to say. But yeah, when he transferred all the energy into just his index finger at the last point of contact before releasing the ball, just really nice, well done. And then we see, you know, All Might hiding to the side of a building, you know, kind of watching over him and Eraserhead, and it's like, it was just kind of funny. And then he reiterates basically the same line his mother told him before he left for school that day. He's like, you know what, you're really cool. I mean, he doesn't say it directly to Izuku, but he's saying it to himself, but you know, to him, you know what I mean. But yeah, this was a really good episode. It wasn't super action packed, but you know, we got a little bit of everything. Once again, they're doing a really good job of two things: pacing this really well and giving us a mixture of several different elements that make a good story, and that being, you know, a mix of comedy, action, slice of life. You know, we get emotional moments, we get hilarious, we get comedic moments, we get, you know, action-packed moments. We get a little bit of everything in pretty much every episode, at least for, you know, these last few episodes, and it's been very enjoyable to watch. I'm really liking where the series is going, and I'm just really looking forward to how the rest of the season goes. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I definitely enjoyed this episode. Let me know what your thoughts on it are in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy it, hit it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you guys can stay tuned for all the awesome content I plan on bringing you guys. So with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have for today. So we'll catch you guys next time. Later.